I'm Mishima Yuki, and you're listening to the Giant Sword Podcast, home of the second biggest group of Phantom Thieves ever. The first being me. Keck.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Giant Sword Podcast. I'm your party leader, Nick Lynn. Joining me, as always, is Shadow Elite.
Yo, what up?
And Taylor Hoyt.
Howdy.
How's everyone doing?
Pretty okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
That's about right. Pretty okay. Surviving, you know.
I think that's just the theme of the last few weeks, right? Just surviving.
Yep. Yeah, trying not to get the COVID, try not to freak out over things that aren't life-threatening. I think I mentioned it last time, but I went to the emergency room because I thought something was up with my arm, but it turned out I just had a really bad pinched nerve. Now it's feeling better. That's a great question. I think what happened is I turned my desk into a standing desk, and the way I sat and leaned, I was just slowly over time just pinching a nerve over and over and over, and eventually it just flared up, I guess. So I've been going to this physical therapist friend of mine, and she gave me some exercises and some things to do, and it's already feeling better. But whenever it flares up, it's scary because it's like your arm gets burny and numb. I'm like, oh God, am I having a heart attack? What's happening? But not the case.
All right.
Thankfully.
It got so bad that it drove you into a panic attack.
Dude, it's scary because it's like, because what happens is like it goes a little bit numb, a little bit burny, and then I guess the way your body responds to new pain like that is I don't know if you guys have ever had like a hot flash, or like when you're in somewhere really cool and then you walk into somewhere really hot, it just feels like this wave of heat sensation, I guess. Yeah. And so like it would just like flush up like through like up my neck. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? And then I would like get out of breath for a second. It was really weird. But yeah, thankfully that hasn't happened in a little while. Yeah, I had a Zoom call with your brother, by the way, Nick, with all the guys, and we posted this picture, and it was like kid falling off a roof, and it's like 30-year-old sleeping wrong, and it's like full body cast. I'm like, yep, I can relate. You sleep funky, your neck's screwed for a few days, or some weird pain that you've never felt comes up.
That's how it is nowadays. It sucks.
Yes, getting old sucks. That's why you got to stay active. Go for those walks. Get on that bike. Something. Ring Fit Adventure. DDR.
Man, DDR. I haven't played that in days.
You still have your stuff?
Of course I do.
Nice.
All right, so let's talk about some JRPG goodness. Not much, really. They didn't really... I mean, last week, we talked about how Falcom was going to announce their next game, apparently, on the 27th, and not really... They didn't really announce anything. We couldn't find it on the news, so if we missed it, please link it to us, but we couldn't find it on all the sites that we were on. What we did find was that there were some tidbits of the next Trails game, and one of them was that the next Trails game is going to feature a battle system with action elements and a largely different cast of characters. So that's very vague, but there's other snippets. Like, this is not going to be Hajimari 2. It's going to be a real arc, which I think it's going to be in Calvard.
So is this the beginning of a whole new like sub-series, or is it like a one-off kind of thing?
I think this is
going to be.
I think this is going to be a new series. Same world, new area. See, they're saying right here that important characters that have appeared thus far are present, but the characters that lead the story are new.
Interesting. So Reen, Lloyd, those folks are probably in it.
And apparently there are hints all throughout Hajimari, so look for new characters that you haven't seen before, I guess. I know some people were worried. I know someone on our Discord is really worried. It's like, they're saying that the next Trails game is going to be an action battle system, and if they do that, I'm not going to play the game anymore. I don't think what do you guys think? I highly doubt that they're gonna change the battle system into E's because they already have E's.
Yeah.
It says that they're gonna feature a battle system with action elements, which I think means that they're probably gonna have quick time events and button prompts. So when you do an attack, you press a button. You have a button a second to press another button to do a combo or to press a button to dodge. I think they're gonna add stuff like that.
Don't they already do that though? On the team up attacks where it's you have to hit a button and then your team member will follow up?
Yeah, but you have a time limit, right? It says it's a static image and then it's press this button. I think this is gonna be what's it called?
More rhythm based.
Legend of Dragoon or
okay.
Or Shadow Hearts.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
That's what I think. What do you think about this, Shadow?
So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a full force action game. If it was, I think they would have just came out and said it. They said action elements. So yeah, like you guys are saying, they're gonna implement maybe some button prompts on screen, but it's still gonna be traditional turn based. I'm really glad that they're actually going to Calvard and they're showing a whole new cast of characters. Because to be honest, I'm not exactly sick of these characters, but it's okay, it's time to tell a new story. It's time to tell a new story. Let's move on from here. You got a perfect setup with Calvard, so I'm good to see new characters and see how everything is from their point of view. And yeah, it'll be nice to see Reen, Emma, Lloyd, and be like, oh man, they're in this game. Yeah, that'd be great. But you know what? I'm good. I want to see some new blood. Let's see some fresh blood here. Yeah,
for sure.
I think the other characters, the important characters that we're going to see are probably going to be all enforcers and those people.
Or the other Anguish. That'd be pretty cool.
That's probably what we're going to see.
We haven't seen all the Anguish yet, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to run into some as I play the first Crossbell game.
So it says right here, these are command battles with action elements and greater real-time nature without an action time bar. So apparently Hajimari has a new thing called an action time bar, which I have no idea what it is because we haven't got it yet, and we probably won't get it for another year or so.
Pretty much full force here.
Yeah. So it's gonna be still gonna be a turn-based game. Don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. I think what they might do is see how this type of elements are received, especially in the West. If people end up liking it, they might slowly change the battle system, maybe after a couple entries. But there's no way they're just gonna go full force action-based combat, East Kingdom Hearts style combat in the next entry. No, it's not happening.
Yeah. I mean, they already have 2 series like that. They have Ease, they have Xanadu, so it's you might as well keep one with turn-based combat because it's still. I think their fear is maybe they're thinking turn-based combat is, getting out of vogue, but there's still stuff like Persona is still turn-based, Octopath, the new Bravely. It's people still want to play that.
Yeah, people still want to play those games, but I would say those are the odd, almost exceptions to the rule at this point. Because Persona has so much prestige behind it, so much clout behind it that of course it can do turn-based, and even casuals will love it. And they'll just chalk it up as it being an RPG or a JRPG. But I seriously still think if you really want to hit it off in the West, at least, an action-based combat is more of the way to go. But I always loved turn-based combat.
Well, I just lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh.
Combat, Hajimari, next game, action elements.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. It'll probably come back to me later.
Oh well.
Yep. This is a type of battle never seen before. Never before seen. Okay, so it's gonna be different. I have a feeling they're changing it up because freaking XC the Nihon Ichi are freaking adding booster speed ups.
Oh, turbo mode, yeah.
So they're probably okay, people don't want the battle system to be so slow, so let's make it so it's a little faster and more snappy. make it more engaging, and that's probably what this is supposed to be. So
interesting. Well, we'll find out.
We'll find out about in a couple months, and it'll be out
maybe at TGS.
It'll be out in about a year in Japan because that's how Falcom works.
They just crank games out, man. They have a good pipeline out there. AKA they copy and paste a lot.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah, they do that a lot because ever since Cold Steel 3, like for 3 games they've been using the same, I guess, engine, right? But they've always done that, so I guess it's fine,
Yeah.
Hey, if it works, it's better than starting fresh every time like Square Enix and having games take 5, 6, 7 years.
This is true. This is very true.
They create a new engine. They use it. They use it for a couple games, add little enhancements, and then make a new one. Which apparently it's shown in Hajimari somehow, like a little cutscene.
That's why I'm not too excited about Hajimari, because I feel like it's just Cold Steel 3 and 4. And then thinking about it, it might be like third when it comes to how the story is unveiled. So I'm not too excited about that.
Has star doors and everything.
Does it really?
No, I don't know.
No, I don't think it.
I don't think it does.
No.
I think it might, honestly, because I was just looking at gameplay on Twitter and I was like, "There's a whole bunch of characters here. This literally reminds me of Third, and they're in like it's not a spoiler. They're in like some type of demonic dungeon or something like that. I'm like, this has nothing to do with anything, does it? Like, it's not even a city. Like, where's the cities at? Like, where's the stuff? This maybe that's just one cutscene I was seeing, or one gameplay segment I was seeing. But to gather all these characters up, I don't see any other way they were doing it other than how Third did it, which I guess they're probably going for a different perspective. But literally, what I saw, every character was available for you to pick. So
they found an artifact, and the artifact sucked them into a new dimension.
Yep. There you go. Somebody's stigma was really powerful, and it resonated with it. And there you go.
And all you fans out there who know what Hajimari is, please don't tell us. We don't want to know. We're just,
Yeah, we're speculating here.
We're speculating as dirty Westerners. So
we're goofing.
We try to.
So we're wrong. Don't go crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't want to. I do not look at anything Trails specific online ever. Even like I see, a new game's coming out. Okay, I'll wait until it's released.
Yeah, usually that's how I do it too. But I was just on Twitch, messing around on Twitch, and I saw Hajimari as like one of the games people are playing. So I just clicked on it, and I was like, oh. I watched like 10 seconds of gameplay, and I was like, okay, that's how they're doing it.
Okay, it's Trails game. I get it.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
All right. So Tokyo Game Show 2020 has been announced officially. It's all online, and it's going to be starting on September 24th and last to September 27th. So thank God we're gonna get barely anything from this, I bet.
I'm trying to think of what hasn't been shown in a while that could possibly pop up. Arise, yeah. I think Babylon's Fall we're due for, if you guys remember that game, that Square Enix Platinum action game.
Babylon's Fall. The name sounds familiar, and I think when I saw it, I liked the gameplay. I gotta see it again.
So there's
it didn't show much, but yeah, there's some gameplay out there.
So the 24th, it starts approximately what's it called, 8 o'clock at night. I don't know if this is Pacific time, so it's probably Japan time. And there's only there's only three people showing off. Microsoft Japan. Why? Square Enix, and Lightning Games.
The hell is Lightning Games?
No idea.
Yeah, I never heard of them.
But I see that the next day there's keynotes for, or there's not keynotes. There's Sega, Atlas, Gung Ho Online, Capcom. BenQ, Lilith Games. The next day, Side Games Level 5. Level 5 has a 2-hour spot, by the way.
Wow. I wonder what they're cooking. They haven't put a game out in a little while.
Guys, Konami's here.
Wow.
You know what that means, right?
Pachinko?
Silent Hill.
There
baby.
you
Let's
go. Pachinko.
Dude, there's been Silent Hill rumors for months. I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. They've got to show something.
Hopefully it actually is freaking Silent Hill or something. It better not be like Metal Gear Solid 6. Old Snake's even older.
Yeah, or it could be the Metal Gear Zombie. What was that zombie game?
No, that's old. That's gone. Survive. Metal Gear Survive. There is
Metal Gear Survive 2. Let's go.
There is 2 slots for Konami. So that means there's 2 games they're going to be showing.
So they got Pez and something else.
They're bringing back
and some pachinko.
They're bringing back something. They're bringing back DDR.
There you go. I mean, I feel like now would be the perfect time for a new Castlevania game because that Netflix series is so popular. I'm shocked they haven't done more with Castlevania, but I don't think that's
they're you know what it is. They're bringing back Sakuden.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. You know what's really funny is on my video about it, so many people are like, I just want another Suikoden. And I'm like,
no, you don't.
Let me tell you, man, this is the best you're gonna get. I don't care. That's what I want. I'm like, literally, all the people that made those games are making this game. So just forget that. Like, you need to live in reality.
It's like saying, I don't want Story of Seasons. I want another Harvest Moon good. It's like, no, you want Story of Seasons. That's what they're making. That's them. That's the guys making.
It's the same thing. They just changed the name.
Yeah, exactly.
Spoiler alert.
It's like Silent Hill and Siren. If you want to play another Silent Hill game, please.
There you go.
Bandai Namco has a 2-hour spot at the last day.
You know what they need to show? I mean, we said Tales of Arise. You know what's that game with From Software with George R.R. Martin? What the hell is that game? Elden Ring? They got to show Elden Ring. It's time.
No, it's time for them to show freaking Armored Core 6, man.
Let me tell you, my friend, they're never going to make another Armored Core game.
Oh, yeah, they are. It's going to be amazing. It's going to play just like Demon Souls somehow, and it's be like, okay, really?
Robot Souls?
Yeah, Robot
Armored Souls?
I could see it.
That'd be pretty funny. That would be funny.
So what do you actually want from this? What do you guys want to see?
Definitely more Rise footage. We're way overdue. I'm trying to think of Japan games because usually they're not going to show off footage for games that are out in Japan but not in America yet. So Rise, I'd like to see some Elden Ring. Does Nintendo ever show up there? I forget.
I didn't see a Nintendo.
Okay. I would like to see some more Bravely Default 2. They haven't given a release date yet. They haven't really updated anything. And you said Square has a presentation?
It has a slot. An hour slot.
Yeah, I'd like to see some Bravely Default 2. That'd be cool. I'm trying to think. I mean, those are the main 2. Other than that, everything's a secret at this point, or they haven't announced stuff. By the way, maybe I shouldn't say this right now. Maybe I'll save it for after we're done with this segment. But there is some Final Fantasy 16 stuff that's popping up. I don't know if you guys saw that
right now. It's like just like a breaking news.
It's not breaking news, but somebody found a Twitter account that's FF16_JP that links back to some official Square Enix email. And there's a lot of rumors going around that supposedly Final Fantasy 16 was supposed to get announced at that PS5 State of Play. So I feel like Final Fantasy is so big that TGS is too small for a Final Fantasy 16 announcement. It's always got to be at a Western event.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Tales of Arise was announced at E3, so I feel like
at a Microsoft event of all places.
I know, that was so weird. So I feel like I don't think it's going to be FF16. That'd be awesome, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Better be FF7 too.
When's the last time Tokyo Game Show even had like a major announcement drop?
Dude, I've been saying this for years. I feel like Tokyo Game Show has been irrelevant for like 5 years.
It really has been. Like they they show trailers of games that we already know about. I can't remember the last time I was like shocked over a game being shown at Tokyo Game Show.
The last time I can remember, and I don't even know how long ago this was, but when they first showed gameplay of Gravity Rush 2, it was at Sony's Tokyo Game Show thing, and that was it. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It's either Western games for Japan or games we already know about. So,
and then like most of it is like mobile games or stuff like that, stuff that are pretty much irrelevant for the most part.
Yep.
But yeah,
guys, you just gotta believe. You gotta believe.
Yeah, right. I would like to see
So-
Tales of Arise. That'd be great because, like Taylor said, we're long overdue for that. I guess seeing Atelier Ryza would be okay, but honestly, like as good as Ryza is, it's like I know what to expect from this game already, so I don't really need to see much. What would be shocking to me, like completely out of left field, is if we show a gameplay for Shin Megami Tensei 5. That'd be great.
Nick, you did say that Atlas/Sega has a time slot, right?
It says, check out Sega Atlas's lineup featuring existing and upcoming titles releasing this fall. Don't miss the special Sega 60th anniversary event and other live stream broadcasts featuring various guest personalities and blah, 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 blah. So,
yeah,
interesting.
I think SMT 5 gameplay might be a long shot. What I think they might announce is ports of Persona 3 Portable or Persona 3 in general.
For PC.
Yeah, I think that they might announce that. Did I discuss it with you guys on this podcast that they might make Persona 3 Portable cost more than Persona 4?
If you did say that. I still don't quite know why. Just because.
I'm sticking to that. Like I'm gonna say it right now. You heard it from me right now. When they drop that thing, it's gonna be it's gonna be more than $20. It might be $25.
Oh yeah, you did say that here. Yeah,
maybe $30 might be going a little bit too far, but I swear they can do it and get away with it because people are still gonna buy it no matter what.
I don't know. I bet you a bunch of people are gonna play Persona 3 because they're not gonna change it, right? So they're gonna play Persona 3 and they're gonna be like, "What is this? This isn't Persona.
Nah.
This is awful. This isn't Persona at all. It's dark and there's nothing to do.
It's harder as crap.
It's hard. You can't control the characters. That's what's gonna happen."
Oh yeah, I forgot they can't control the characters in vanilla Persona 3. They have to release Persona 3 Persona 3 Portable and Persona 3 FES, or just FES, the FES story. That's what they should do.
They'll combine them and they'll make a new version called Persona 3 Platinum.
Yeah,
and then that would be worthy of charging extra money because there would be extra work.
Really, yeah, we're extra work on their part, but all they're doing is just sticking two releases together. That's all they're really doing.
All right, so the level 5 is gonna show off Megaton Musashi, Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds, a Yokai Watch Jam, Yokai Academy. That's all. That's all.
I feel like Yokai Watch really dropped the ball.
Yeah,
maybe it's popular in Japan, but I think it was supposed to be popular like around the world, and it never did take off like that.
Yeah, it was huge in Japan, but that was it.
Yeah.
Did we ever get? We never got 4, right? The Switch one.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not out here yet, but I think we are getting it.
And then I read somewhere, and I don't know. There was supposed to be a port of the first game to Switch, and I don't know if it was a remake or just like a upres like they did with Rune Factory. But I heard something about Yokai Watch 1 coming to Switch, so that'd be kind of cool.
Interesting. Where are you? They're not showing, and they're not talking. Konami isn't talking. It hasn't shown any. I don't see any Konami news. Like, oh wait, here you go. It says right here, Konami info show. Tune in for the latest Konami news and updates. Well, Konami hasn't been a thing in like years, so
it's probably just some more mobile game stuff.
I think it is.
I'm telling you, Pro Evolution Soccer, man, it's gonna be that and Pachinko, and that's it.
If they were gonna announce like a Silent Hill game again, like we said earlier, like Taylor said, they ain't gonna do that Tokyo Game Show. That's like a worldwide thing. You do that at a Western event.
Yeah. Nothing else really. What's Momotaru Dentetsu Shoya Hayase Raira Mo Taiven. Oh my god!
Wow, I have no idea.
Random words, Japanese words.
I was mumbling while reading, and I'm reading. I'm seeing. Oh, it's some. It looks like some. Oh, it's like a board game. Okay, no one cares.
Who
Good.
cares?
My dog is really annoying. He just keeps barking. All right, so I just saw this news right now. Delightworks' new RPG project, Retake Japan. It's gonna have a presentation. Oh, never mind. Who cares about it? It's for iOS and Android.
It's probably a fake Grand Order game.
Yeah.
There was some other what the heck, Soccer Wars thing that was teased, but I'm like, there's no way they're turning another Soccer Wars game around this fast. That's probably a mobile game too, unfortunately.
Breaking news: Azure Lane Crosswave DLC launches October 5th in the West.
Finally.
Gosh, gotta buy all
That
those.
game
Gotta
That
buy
game
all
is
those.
hot garbage.
The console one or the mobile game?
The
It's like for
console
both.
one.
Oh, really? The console one? I never played the console one.
The
I got
console
sent a
one
code,
is-
but I never played it.
Don't play it. I think it's a waste of time. It's hot garbage. I'd rather you play the mobile game.
I don't even know what
It's-
that game is.
Yeah, it's like a waifu simulator gotcha game. It's about ship girls. It's really nothing special, honestly. You play that game for the ship girls, and that's all. That's all you play that game for. But the gameplay and the actual like console game is just it's terrible, and it's boring. It's boring as hell.
Can you
That's
imagine
the
if they
worst.
made have amazing gameplay with ship girls? Amazing
That's
gameplay and
not-
amazing waifus. It like it
That's
plays
not
amazing.
That's not possible.
I mean, it's not
You can't
possible,
have-
but can you see
you
it
can't have
happening? Can you see it happening?
You can't have both. You can only have one or the other.
It's like the most lewd Opie freaking waifu game, and it has the greatest gameplay ever. And people are like, "I'm just playing it for the gameplay. It's really good.
That's bullshit. That's just bullshit.
It's a really good game."
You couldn't convince me of something like that. Like, I don't know if you guys ever seen a mobile game called Destiny Child. But that game,
I have, yeah.
yeah, that game has like the artist from Magna Carta. You guys ever heard of those games?
Yeah.
Yes, weirdly enough.
Yeah, the Magna Carta games has the same artist. He's really known for drawing thick girls. He also does Blazing Soul. But that game, if you're gonna sit there and tell me you're playing that game for the gameplay and not the thick girls, you're just lying to yourself.
Right, right.
Stop this. Oh my god.
I mean, that's like talking to every Ryza fan, right? You're playing it for the thick girl, not for the gameplay.
You staying for the gameplay. You were interested in for Ryza, and you might stay for the gameplay, but
No, guys, we're in it for the lore.
oh
Very-
man.
Very good lore.
Yep.
Ryza was a farmer and wanted to go on an adventure and became an alchemist.
That's it.
There you go.
Who can't commiserate with that? I don't want to live in my stupid house with my stupid parents. I want to do my own thing, Dad.
I know. She's so rude. It's like, I hate you, Dad. I'm doing my own thing. And runs away. All right, so let's move to... Shadow's been on a freaking trail spree. And
Wait, we're not done with the news. We got one more
What?
piece of news.
What's other news?
He's 9.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Ease 9.
Release date.
Ease 9 release date. I don't have it up for some reason. Taylor.
I think it's February 21st. I think I could be wrong.
Early 2021.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
Can't believe I can't believe I forgot
Yep.
to write that down.
Yep, February 21st, according to the NIS America website. Only for PS4, and then they said summer 2021 for PC and Switch. So
Wow.
you're stuck with. Oh no, excuse me. February 2nd, 2021, and then summer 2021 for PC, Switch.
If unless I got the code, I'm gonna wait for the PC version.
Wait, what?
I'm playing that PS4 goodness.
Well, by February 2nd, I'll be playing it on my PS5 goodness, you mean.
Oh snap!
Hopefully we're able to get it by then.
Oh yeah, we should talk about that.
Which one?
PS5.
Nah, like backwards compatibility with some games and getting like free upgrades for like current gen games. It's like the weirdest thing going on in the community right now. People are upset that if you buy a game, a current gen game now, you can't get the upgraded version when the PS5 and Series X come out. I'm like, bro, this has always been the case. How can you get mad at this? You want them to give you a game for free? A version of a game for free? For free? What? Huh? That makes no sense.
I mean, I would be okay if it was just straight up backwards compatible. Like if I could play the PS4 version on PS5, I'd be fine with that. But
you can. I mean, that's
to me that's fine. Like that's good enough.
Oh yeah. So wait, how backwards compatible? How backwards compatible is the PS5?
I heard it's they've been testing it, and they say that it's pretty much all like it's compatible with most games. There could be some games that it doesn't work, but they've been trying like at least 200 something games, and they've all worked. So
have they? So it's interesting how we like I said, I don't think that's going to be available out the gate.
Backwards compatibility.
Yeah, I think they're going to trickle us to us over the course. Like full force, like I can just play Cold Steel 3 on my PS5. I don't think so. I think they're gonna just trickle that stuff out. Well, maybe not for major titles like God of War. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna make you buy God of War again. They're gonna make you buy Last of Us 2 again. They're gonna make you buy whatever current gen console game that's out. They're gonna make you buy all that stuff again. Those games aren't gonna be compatible.
No one wants
true.
No one wants to buy Last of Us 2 again. Come on, be honest.
I would if it's a guaranteed 60 FPS. I wouldn't mind.
Only if it has multiplayer.
Oh yeah, if it launches with multiplayer. It's supposed to.
What about you, Taylor? Would you play the multiplayer of Last of Us again?
I enjoyed it, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't buy it again. The rumor is that they spun off the multiplayer and it's a separate game or something. So I don't know what the latest with that is, but yeah, I like the Last of Us multiplayer. It's fun. It was good.
I want to go off a tangent, but I totally remember when they first showed off Uncharted 2, and then they were showing off, and they're like, "Here's another trailer of Uncharted 2," and it looked like a single player game, and suddenly the HUD turns on, and it's a multiplayer game. You see all the multiplayer, all the enemies around, and we're like, "Oh my god, it's multiplayer Uncharted 2!" And we start freaking out.
It's interesting how multiplayer has changed so much over the years. Like it used to be like if a game had multiplayer in it, it was tacked on and you didn't care about it. And people made the argument that the multiplayer took away from the single player.
Yeah.
But now it's just like you can't say that anymore for the most part.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, it doesn't have multiplayer, why not?
Yeah.
Now people are disappointed if it doesn't have it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's weird how times change.
Indeed.
I don't know why Doom Eternal doesn't have deathmatch multiplayer, I swear.
Well, I guess people didn't like the one in the original Doom, so maybe they just figured out nobody played it, was wasted money, so let's not do it again.
There was multiplayer in the first Doom?
Yeah.
It was very like Halo-y. If they made it like deathmatch, like it should be, like, Quake and stuff, or there's arenas and you have to go around and find the weapons yourself, then I think people play it. But not Halo Doom. Even though it was fun, it was Halo Doom. It literally was Halo Doom. So
yeah.
It was made by the guys who made Halo 4, so
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm. All right, now we can talk about Shadow's final thoughts on Trails in the Sky the Third.
Yeah. For the most part, for this game, it's still on the lower end when it comes to Trails games. For the most part, like it might be the worst one I played, but it's not bad. It's not a bad game. It's still a good game. It's just the worst. It's just the worst Trails of game. I'll say the same thing about Tales of Legendia. It's not a bad Tales game. It's just the worst Trails game. Actually, no, it's not. That's Dawn of the New World.
Worst mothership title.
Yeah, I'll say that. And that's not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. What really turned me off about it was the Star Doors, because it really took me out of the whole immersion of the game, I guess. Because like we all know how infamous Star Door 15 is. I think it's Star Door 15 or Star Door 14 with Ren, right?
That's 15.
And yeah. So, like, when you enter that Star Door, you see that stuff, and everybody's entering the Star Door that you have in your party. Are they seeing these memories that's going on? Because I would love to see Estelle and Joshua's reaction to seeing this memory that Renee has, But all they are just for the player. They're just for you. You don't see any reaction. Because the first time we saw a Star Door in the game, I think Tita said something. I forgot what she said, but she interacted. It said like she mentioned what was in the door. Then they just dropped it completely for the most part, and that's really turned me off about the game. And other than things I said last time about the Star Doors really breaking up the gameplay, really being long, it's not too much of a big deal, but for me it was.
I mean, I could totally see that, because it's like if you're so engrossed in what's going on, and then suddenly you get thrown into why all the bracer guilds were destroyed in Erebonia, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and literally like you've been saying, it's like an exposition dump. So I was like, I don't feel like viewing this. I'm gonna skip. Bye. And a friend of mine, she was she said she asked me if she should play third chapter. I was like, if you have the time, fine, go for it. But if you don't, just view these Star Doors and just keep it pushing. You don't really need to. You don't really need to play this as much. Although there's some evidence that you probably should play third because of a revelation that happened with a certain character in Cold Steel 3. It makes that moment a little bit more impactful.
I told you.
Because I will admit that if I had known this before playing Cold Steel 3, it would have been a little bit more impactful.
And now you understand why he said that.
Exactly. So it's like, oh, okay. I get it now. But wait, I think we're talking about two different moments, actually.
No, I have a feeling I think we know what we're talking about.
Is it? I'm thinking about the revelation of a certain character.
Revelation of a certain character?
Yeah, like when they come out and say, "I'm this. I'm with these guys now."
I don't know. I to be honest, I don't even remember. Oh,
okay.
Oh. Which one?
Yeah, it happens towards the end of the game.
I was thinking about a certain bard.
Certain bard.
I have no idea what's happening.
We have to keep it vague. We have to keep it vague.
Yeah, we gotta keep it. It's basically something with the old class 7. I'll say that.
I was thinking the the very end when everyone's saying goodbye. There's the Olivier has a special moment with a certain someone, and you're like, "What's that about? What's that about?"
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. But yeah, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think anybody. If you ask my opinion, I say skip third for the most part. If you ask my opinion, I'll say this. This might be one of the few times I admit this. My opinion might be wrong. Okay, I'll say that there on this one. I'll say skip third, view these Star Doors, and just go on to Crossbell or go on to whatever you want to go on to.
Or just skip the game altogether. Yeah, that's fine. I can't ski it. I actually like the Sky game, so I don't want to speak bad at it. Only Cold Steel.
No. You can't say anything about Trails games anymore, Taylor. Your opinion's void now.
Yeah, your opinion's invalid.
Actually, I want you to try in the Sky 2. Oh, Taylor's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't know what happens.
See if you even can. That's the problem. I want to see.
Watch, I'll prove you wrong. But this is the best game in the whole series. It's
And
amazing.
I'll be like, good job.
I don't
Play Cold Steel 2.
No, they didn't earn it.
In my opinion, if you want to learn about Kevin and you want some world building drops, then you should play third.
Yeah.
That's literally what this game is. It's a focus on Kevin. It doesn't seem like it at first, but once like a certain, like, I think at a halfway point, it starts really focusing on Kevin and who he really is. And you get to learn like his backstory, and you get to learn like other backstories for certain characters.
That's what I feel like this game was more of. It was more of like dropping backstory and dropping lore about it first. Dropping lore about the world first, then being in the game, like being the third game in the series.
I do like how it dropped lore for both Cold Steel and Crossbell. 2 games, like Crossbell comes out next, but they dropped lore in Cold Steel, which was like, whoa, wow. It was way back. Whoa.
Yeah, I gotta admit that Star Door they dropped about Cold Steel, that was a really good one. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, oh, God damn. Oh, so this is the reason he's doing this. Okay, I see you. This is why he chose this particular class. I got you.
And this that song that plays during that Star Door is actually in Cold Steel 2.
I don't think I paid attention to that.
I think like the one there, it's during I forgot which mission it is in Cold Steel 2. But it plays in the airship when you're there.
Oh,
and I was like,
good.
I remember I was listening to the soundtrack, and I was like, "Where's this song? I don't know where the song is." And then I played the third, and I was like, "There's the song. What the?" Really confused.
Yeah, I'll say this: if you are going to play third, be in a good headspace when you view Star Door 15. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, if you're depressed, don't view that Star Door. It's gonna mess you up even more. So just be awake and be aware, and have somebody to talk to afterwards. That Star Door is gonna mess you up.
It's very heart-wrenching.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's about a character that you wouldn't think so.
Hmm.
Now let's get ready for Crossbell.
Yeah, I'm playing Crossbell right now. It's like I said to you guys earlier before the podcast started, it's really just a Trails game at this point. Like, I feel like if you play one Trails game, you played them all. I'm like, there's really not much different about it. Like, the characters are definitely cool. I like all the characters. Randy, Lloyd, Ellie. Is that her name, Ellie?
Yeah, Elle or Ellie.
Yeah, Ellie and Teotot. They're cool. And then like I ran into Rixia. I think that's how you say her name. She's great too.
I figured her out really quick.
Yeah, I think there's something about her. Well, actually, you know what? You know what really messed this up for me already? That I think I know what's going on is that the Evolution or the PC version has voice acting. So a certain mass character has voice lines, and this person is female. So I'm like, wait a minute. Why is this person masked and this person's a female, voice is a female? Okay, it's obviously someone we know. And who can I eliminate from this list of suspects at this point?
What chapter are you on?
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. There's a point where you actually fight the masked person, and you see the weapon that they're using, and you're like, "Oh, okay."
Now, do I? Okay.
You're like, okay. You're like, okay. I know. It's obvious now.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep playing, but I like it so far. It's really a perfected engine of the Trails in the Sky games. I don't know, maybe because that's on PC, but the character models look a little bit more detailed. and the artwork is there's new artists for the art for the character designs. Those look really good, and the overall the city looks a lot more robust and livelier than the Trails in the Sky games for the most part.
And you spend like the entire time in that city.
Yeah, pretty much. I've gotten to know that city like the back of my hand at this point until the fast travel is unlocked.
I want to be able to. I mean, I want to go back to Cold Steel 3 and go to the Crossbell chapter and check it out. Now that I know about, like, I've been there, I've played the first game, and I want to see what I can see there.
I actually wanted to do that myself. Like, I have multiple save files, so I can just load it up just in case, just to see it. But I think from what I remember, they recreated it pretty well.
Yeah, it's from my head, from my memories. One thing that you're gonna notice is that it's like a typical Trails game up until I think end of chapter 4, and then suddenly it just goes down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, a friend of mine told me that it takes a while to pick up.
Yeah, and then it's like bam, 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 bam. It does the whole Cold Steel thing where it's like everything happens in like the last chapter, and you're like, whoa, whoa.
All right, I'm gonna try to see if I can get through these 2 games. The plan is to have this game done by next week. So hopefully I can do that, and then like I'll spend the rest of the month on the I don't know Kizuki, or is it Azure?
Azure.
Azure.
It has to do with the blue like shield orb that you see in Cold Steel 2. And you're like, oh, there's this huge blue orb covering Crossbell. What's that all about? And then suddenly it's like, oh, it's gone now. I'm like, I wonder what that's all about.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, what did that have to do with anything? I was just when I was first playing Cold Steel 2, I was like, what? Huh? Yeah. Like what? Oh, okay.
So that happens happening during Cold Steel 2 or Cold Steel Crossbell 1 and 2. I think it's happening during Cold Steel
at the same time.
Right? Yeah, at the same time. Yeah. Jay, that's probably like, what the heck's going on? Mind blown.
Like, get this freaking Trails of talk out of here, man. We don't care about Trails. Like, huh?
Like Trails of shit.
All we need to do for Taylor to play Crossbell, we need to turn it to Tokyo, have them all be in high school.
Basically.
Now you're talking my language.
And then make some really, really simple side quests, right, Taylor?
I mean, those already exist in Crossbell. You got to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, one of the side quests is, hey, check out these license plate numbers of these cars, and make sure there's no unaccepted license plate numbers.
I didn't realize that. I don't think I even got that far yet.
I think that's chapter 3.
Okay.
But yeah, you actually do police work.
Wow. Do you hand out tickets?
No, yeah, you do.
That's awesome.
And you're like, okay, I guess I'll just do this, whatever. I mean, they're all optional.
A meter maid is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're all optional, but it's like a huge event happening in Crossbell. So you're like, the police force is, even though you're the special support section, they needed help, the regular police force. So it's like, okay, we'll help, and you get to do their little odd jobs. But then it all adds up. Like, you're doing a little bunch of odd jobs, and then suddenly something big happens. And that's the fun of it. That's why Crossbell's fun. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill you, dog. He's been doing this. I know you can't hear it most of the time, but he's been doing this this entire podcast.
Annoying.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. I mean, you guys talk about Crossbell. I need to shut him
up. Talk about stuff.
Dog, you've been doing this.
So, Cold Steel, huh? It's something.
Yeah, let's talk about your really flawed opinion on Trails game.
Let's just talk about how everyone else has bad taste, okay? I mean, that's really what's happening.
No.
I mean, look, you can't say I didn't give it a try. You know, I beat it once, I bought it again, and I tried playing it, and I'm like, oh god, I am so bored. I'm just
so you said you beat what? Cold Steel 1?
Yeah.
And
then
you
I
didn't
bought
have
the
an
PS4
urge
version.
to buy Cold Steel 2?
Nope. Because
How?
here's the thing. Here's why. I want to tell you why. To me, I feel like, they tease you at the very end. It's like, oh, it's a cliffhanger. Play the second one. And I'm like, no, you didn't earn it. I went through 50 hours of trash for that one little cliffhanger ending. Nope. You don't deserve a second game from me. Sorry. You don't deserve my money for the next one. Now with Sky, they do something very similar, but I felt like the adventure all the way was worth it. Now, again, this was 10 years ago, Taylor. So, my tolerance was maybe different or whatever. But
yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to play Sky 1 again.
Sky 1. Is Sky 2 available on Vita via PSP, or can you only play it on PSP?
Was it released on PSP? I don't remember.
Well, third was only released on PC. Wasn't third only on PC?
I think third was only PC, yeah.
Yeah, third was only PC.
Trails in the Sky SC. Let's see, PlayStations.
It looks like it is. Yeah, it's on Vita.
Oh, it is Vita. Wow. But it's probably full price. Oh,
it's $30.
A DLC. $30. Okay. Trails in the Sky, second chapter. Why are the avatars with the thing that come up first? What the hell?
Trails of Cold Steel 2, Rixia. I mean, Rixia is not really a person in that game, except for...
Okay, no.
Okay, why did that come out?
All right, so let me get where I put my phone. There it is. Got to do the questions now, people.
No.
Yeah. Oh wait, no. Never mind. We still got our freaking topic, man. Erased.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Okay, so we want to way back in the day when Connor was part of the crew, we used to do something called JRPG Beginner's Guide, and we would pick like what game should you play as a beginner, and we would pick games. Oh my gosh, I lost. So I wanted to bring that back. I wanted to ask what JRPG, which game should a beginner play, and it could be on any system. We're not going to start with like PS1, PS2, PS3. I want any system. Which JRPG would be perfect for a beginner? And I'm going to cross this out right now. Pokemon is not a JRPG.
It absolutely is, and that's my pick.
That's why I exited. No.
Hell no. Why not? Because everything.
It's a Pokemon game. It's a Pokemon game.
That doesn't mean anything. What does that
mean? That
mean?
means everything. All right.
If that's the case, then frickin' SMT's a Pokemon game. All right, it's the same thing.
Oh man, whose man is this? I don't know.
I know. I would say
like Pokemon is more of a JRPG than SMT is.
What? Huh? Yo, what are you talking? Oh, okay, fine.
I don't know. I never played an SMT game, so I have no opinion.
Oh my god!
But I say no Pokemon because it doesn't have your typical party system and story. So that's the only reason. Like it is a good beginner. It is a good easy game for kids to play to and kind of get the turn-based battle system and exploration out. But I want story. I want parties and like a stereotypical JRPG. And Pokemon is not one of them.
That's not.
But I'll pretend you didn't say that. I'm gonna say, okay, here's what I think is a good starter JRPG. I think Final Fantasy X is a good starter one. One, it's very linear, so like you can't get lost. Like you're always on a straight path. It's a lot of people's favorite Final Fantasy, and it's not mine. I like the combat. I will say I think it has the best turn-based combat in the series. So I think that's good. It's got a great soundtrack. People want to laugh at the Teases laughing thing, even though it's intentional. He's not laughing like that. It's not his real laugh. But I think that's a good starter one. it's not terribly long, like 40-ish hours, right? Something like that.
Yeah, for 40, 50 hours.
It's fun to play. It's not like 13 where it's just dialogue and dialogue and dialogue in terms that you have no idea what's going on kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I didn't, people say they like the combat. I didn't really like the combat in 13. All of the reasons people like 13, I don't understand. So, yeah, nope.
Did you
It's gonna
beat
be a no
13,
for me,
Shadow?
dog?
Did you beat
What?
13? Like,
Me?
yeah, you.
Oh, yeah, I beat 13.
Am I the only one who hasn't?
I think so.
I mean, like,
You're gonna have to
nobody
torture
really,
yourself.
nobody really blames you for that.
Yeah.
I think I stopped when Snow got Shiba.
And yeah, nobody really blames you for that for the most part. That game is just it's not trash, it's different. I'll say that. If you asked me what in 2010 when it came out, I would have told you it's trash. But now I just say it's different.
Oh, I won't. I'll call it trash. I'll go there.
It's in the trash bin.
Yep. Exactly.
So Taylor chose Final Fantasy X, runner-up Pokemon.
Yep. I would have flipped it, but you guys don't want it, and that's okay.
I wouldn't allow.
We'll play by your silly rules.
Wouldn't allow it.
You would really tell somebody to go play Pokemon as their first RPG of all the RPGs.
Totally.
Absolutely. Let's humor this guy. Why are you choosing Pokemon for this?
Because I think it's because it's easy. I think it introduces you to all the concepts that you're going to find in an RPG, like exploring, adding party members, leveling up, managing your inventory. The story is very light, but there is some story in those Pokemon games. So I think it gives you a little bit of everything, and it's all easy, and it's very easy to digest. And so then you can pick, like, okay, I like the exploring aspect. Let me find more games like this, or I like having a lot of party members, or I like leveling up, or you can pick what you like because it is so easy and so easy to get into. And like, I'll admit, I like the Pokemon games. I'm very casual. I play when it comes out, I beat it, and then I never play it again. I don't get into competitive. I don't find shinies. I don't do any of that. I just play the story 25, 30 hours, and then I'm done. And I like it. It's a fun little casual, easy breezy game. And, if somebody's not used to the mechanics, I think it's a good entry point.
Now, which Pokemon game are you telling? This any Pokemon game?
If I were to say, I would say always whatever the newest one is, because they don't change that much. And people gave Sword and Shield such a hard time. It's my favorite one. I mean, I feel like they slowly get better. All the things that people complain about, I feel like are only for the most hardcore dedicated ones, because it's like, oh, they took out all these Pokemon. It's like, for me, the appeal is all the new ones that come in every new game. So I didn't care that they took all the old ones out. So if somebody were to come to me, I'd say, yeah, pick up Sword or Shield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still not a JRPG. Still not JRPG. It could be, you can classify as RPG, but definitely not JRPG. I'm going to go with. There's a couple of games I want to go with. I'm gonna choose Dragon Quest XI. That's really old school JRPG, hero's journey type of deal.
It's old school modern, which is a weird term.
Yeah. Exactly, old school modern. That's exactly what I would use for it. I would almost say Persona 5, but there could be a lot going on there. It's more. It almost goes on to almost goes into visual novel territory for the most part.
Persona 5's it's a hard sell for me because it's so Japanese.
Yeah,
that it's like you have to ease them into it. Like a Persona game is really hard to like. It's like you could say that Persona games are really good JRPGs, but it's kind of hard for people to get into them, like right at the beginning, the beginning of their JRPG journey.
Yeah. Okay. This is not a criticism. I'm just curious what you think. So both of those games are pretty long. So do you think people that are new to JRPGs, or do you think they'll be tolerant to sit around for 80 to 100 hours? Because I don't know what the answer is. I'm just curious what you think.
New people, I don't know, because that's why I'm saying this is the advanced JRPG. Maybe Persona 4, because Persona 4 isn't as long as 5.
Yeah,
but even Dragon Quest 11 is pretty long. Dragon Quest 11 is like 80 hours or something.
Is it?
I mean, I guess if you include the post game, which you kind of have to, it's almost like the second half of the game, you know?
See how many hours I put in Dragon Quest 11. Okay, 87 hours. Probably 70 hours altogether. But we're talking about length as well, so it's gotta be an easy game and a short game at the same time.
I mean, it doesn't have to be. That's just my question. Do you think length, like how long it is, do you think that matters? Do you think that would deter anybody?
It would, because like they're trying to play. They're if they want to play a JRPG, they should know that it's a long journey. It's a long game.
This should
You're
be
in it for the long haul.
This should be a video to beginner JRPG, like how to tell what JRPGs are to beginners. Like you have to, like, one of the points is you have to expect the really long intros, the hour-long intros. If the game doesn't start up right away. It usually has a long intro. Newer modern JRPGs tend to have these awesome hooks where it's like a big action moment and then it flashes back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the new hook is, but you still have that hour-long intro or so. That's just a thing. It always happens. Especially in like modern JRPGs, this tends to happen. Because I know in like Tales of Fantasia, it's an intro, but it's like a 5-10 minute intro, and then suddenly you go to a forest, you fight some boars, and then your village is under attack because it's one of the original JRPGs, so it has the first trope.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, I will also choose. I'll also choose Fairy Tail. Only because it's so freaking easy, and it's so basic when it comes to RPG stuff, like the quest structure and how they literally hold your hand in boss battles. Like that's not just a first-person JRPG. That's like first-person's game, like first kid's game or something like that. Because they hold your hand like crazy in boss battle. They give you they'll heal you. They give you buffs. Like it's impossible to lose a boss battle in that game. Yeah,
that game's pretty darn easy for sure.
Yeah, it's ridiculously easy, and it's not that long either. It's like what 20 something hours.
Yeah, sounds about right. I think my final clock time was like 20. I want to say like 23 hours.
Yeah, like so, and that's platinum in the game. So,
can anyone Taylor? Can you guess my game? Let's see if you can.
If you say Tales of Destiny, that's a terrible first pick.
Yeah.
That's not a good first.
It's not Tales of Destiny.
Is it a Final Fantasy?
No, it's not.
Is it a Tales game? It better not be a Tales game.
It's not a Tales game either.
Ooh, okay. It's not a Tales game, not a Final Fantasy. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what's in Nick's wheelhouse that would also be a good.
I'll say this. Is it part of a series?
It is part of a series.
Okay.
Does
it involve Mickey Mouse?
No, because that's definitely that is not a beginner JRPG. That would make people go away from JRPGs.
Okay, all right, hold on. I'm trying to think of another good entry one. You know, this would be another pick for me, and I don't know if you would pick this, but one of the PS3 Atelier games, maybe like Verona.
I would just go with Ryza.
Or Ryza, yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. But if I'm going to tell somebody to play Atelier game, I'm going to go tell them to play Ryza. And somebody might say, "Oh, play Manic Mia." No, we don't have any access to Manic Mia on current consoles. We're let it go.
It's hard to go back. Well, what would you pick?
All
right. Grandia. I haven't changed. I would say Grandia is
not Grandia 3?
No, not Grandia 3. Grandia 1. It is the quintessential JRPG. It has great characters, a very linear storyline, great battle system, great customization, and great music, and a great world. And it's easy to get now. You could buy it on the Switch. You could buy it on your PC. You can do that. You can get it.
I thought I had Grandia on my PC. I don't see it.
And it's old, but it holds up. So that's the cool thing. It's not archaic at all. It's Has save spots like everywhere. Once you see a save, it has save points right before bosses, so you're never gonna have to redo a whole dungeon once you get to a boss. Yeah, it's really self-explanatory, and it's like one of my favorite JRPGs of all time. And it got a HD remaster recently, which I don't know if it's good or not, but it's there. If
No,
you don't,
it played pretty well. It was good. It was fine.
if you want to play the original, you could buy it on PS3 and PSP and Vita easily for $5. So yeah, Grandia is a great starting point, I say, because it eases you into it, and it's an old JRPG, so you're able to get the feel of a classic and have a good experience at the same time. It's not playing like Legend of Dragoon, which
I think it would like like the thing about it is I don't know who we're introducing this to. Are we introducing somebody that's really open minded about how dated some games are? Those games are now, you know.
in my humble opinion, to be a JRPG player, you have to be open minded.
Okay.
You have to be. Taylor's very open minded. He plays these games. There's just some things that just take him off.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's why we're suggesting easy-ish ones, right? Just because
I liked your I liked your Final Fantasy X one. I wouldn't have expected that one. Because I knew when I said this, I'm like, Taylor's gonna say Pokemon, and that is why I said no Pokemon. But I let you have your argument on Pokemon.
Yep. But I think modern JRPGs are getting more approachable, which is nice. Some are, at least.
Any others? I mean, I would still say I wouldn't say. I would totally say play Final Fantasy VII, the original.
Yeah. And if you can't sit through the battles, I mean, just play the remaster version so you can speed up the battles if you really want to. But I think it still kind of holds up.
I mean, only Final Fantasy VII doesn't really have long battle animations unless you cast Knights of the Round, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's good because after you play the original, you go to the remake, and the remake's good. The remake is more action oriented, which turned off a lot of classic JRPG players.
Yeah, right. Fans of the original, you know. Mm-hmm. But I feel like you need that context to make the remake impactful.
I keep thinking about if you never knew what Final Fantasy VII was and never played it, you'd be like, who the heck is this freaking gray-haired guy popping up every now and then? Who is this? And at the end of the game, who is this other cloud?
Yeah, people would be very confused. I mean,
like us.
I played it, and I was kind of confused at points. I was like, what's happening?
Good stuff. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a modern JRPG you could try.
Let me ask you this. What do you think, Shadow, about something like Nier Automata? Like if you put it on easy mode or something.
Yeah, I'm about to say that game's a little bit tough. For somebody.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm just trying to think of the more beloved games this generation that are JRPGs, but Nier, it's a little weird and it is a little hard. Yeah. I mean, if I rage quit it twice, shit, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
What newbie's gonna want to give it a try? Because I'm looking at games that came out this gen. Even like Ys 8, I feel like is not like super great as somebody's first one because there's a lot of dialogue in that game.
I mean, Ys has a lot of dialogue. If Ys has a lot of dialogue, man, I don't know what I could say. If you think, I mean, if they can't handle Ys dialogue, then I don't think they could handle JRPGs.
I have a very warped perspective on Ease's dialogue because I skipped it over 100 times while doing my speed run.
Oh my
So
God.
now I'm trying to think of its like boiled down essence. Like, what is that game about? It's just trying to rescue people, get off the island.
It's an ease game. I would say, since you have a warped perception of it, there's not much dialogue. There's only like you do your exploration, and then they have
I don't know about that.
cutscenes.
Yeah, I don't think there's that much dialogue. Like compared to a Trails game, it's not that much.
Trails is
Or
like
even a Persona game, or yeah, I don't think it has that much.
Trails. I'll give Taylor that point that there's so much dialogue.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's definitely not baby's first JRPG. I wouldn't recommend Trails to anybody.
As the first one.
As their first one, definitely not. You need to ease up into that because you're not going to be able to appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just reading this whole time. What is going on? I just want to play a game. Yeah, I can see them saying that. People saying that. Because I said it myself.
You got to play. I would say just play Grandia, and if you really enjoyed Grandia, message us, and we'll give you more recommendations from there. And even play like all the games that we recommended here. You could easily get. If you have a Switch, you can get Grandia. If you get Final Fantasy X on PS4, Dragon Quest XI. Dragon Quest XI is also on PS4 and everything else. So
yeah, literally everything else.
It's easy to get now.
Yeah, and they're coming out with the quote unquote definitive edition of Dragon Quest XI this fall, December, I think.
Yeah, December.
So get that before you get the first one, so it doesn't skew your perception.
Yeah, I'm really curious for like the Digital Foundry breakdown, doing like the OG PS4 version and the definitive edition PS4, and see if it really looks that much worse.
I don't think it's. That would suck if it did, but I don't think it's gonna look that bad. I don't think it's gonna look too noticeable.
You have to like you'll if you have it side by side, you could see it. You can see that the details aren't as much. There's not as much details, but I don't think it's that much of a squander.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're playing it and you're like immersed, I'm sure you're not going to care.
Nope. All right. So that's the end of our first JRPG beginner guide. Yeah. So tell us if you guys have ever what you guys think of our picks, and if you actually play our picks, tell us what you thought of them. Because I know we've had a comment before saying that they played Ys Origins because of us, but I don't remember when we talked about Ys Origins. I think you've talked about Ys Origins, right, Taylor?
Probably at some point.
And yeah, so that's cool. It's always a good feeling that someone's played a game based off our recommendations. Everyone should play Tokyo Xanadu, though.
That's right. I can get on that train.
But now let's do some questions. Which you got a lot of. Whoa. Okay.
Wow.
Josiah Otaku asks, in your dedicated gaming space sit 5 JRPGs, but they aren't what they seem. They still have JRPG elements, but are blended with a different game genre. What order would you play these games? What order would you play these games? Are there any other games you wouldn't play? Either way, you have now entered the Twilight Zone.
Okay.
Number 1, Final Resident Fantasy, survival horror.
Okay.
Number 2,
I'm picking that one.
Trails of the Orbital Cup, a kart racer.
Oh, Trails of the Orbital Cup. Okay.
Tales of the Cards EX Plus, card battler. Dragon Quest Wars, RTS. Can You Feel My Persona, 18+ visual novel.
Oh my god!
I love how we gave names to all these. That's so awesome. Honestly, all of those sound good except the RTS. I don't like RTS games.
I'm thinking, like, how could a Dragon Quest game be an RTS?
I don't know. You use the monsters, like you have an army of slimes or something. I don't know. I could probably the card battler, maybe. If I had to pick one,
I would play the survival horror game.
Yeah, same here.
Because that A Resident Evil Final Fantasy style, like a Final Fantasy Resident Evil style game, sounds awesome.
Yeah, there's not too many horror RPGs out there. Like the only one I could think of is Parasite Eve, and I've always wanted another Parasite Eve game, but I really wanted another survival horror RPG game.
And Shadow Hearts, the original Shadow Hearts, was very horror themed. Second one
Was it really?
I mean, the first place you are in like a demon cat village, and at night there's blood and guts and gore everywhere.
Oh, okay, all right, fair enough.
So I know,
Anyway.
because I know that doesn't happen in the new or in the second one. The second one is a little more goofy, but it's a good game.
Yeah, it's still a good game. Yeah,
It's just not the whole. It's not focused on horror like the first one was. Card Battler sounds fun. Have you guys ever played Metal Gear Acid?
I haven't. No.
It was a
I've heard of it.
It was a PSP game, and it was like a Metal Gear Solid card game.
hard game. Yeah, that was weird.
That was I thought the concept was really weird, but I enjoyed the hell out of that game. That was so much fun. I don't know why. It was just so cool because it was like a tactics game with cards. It was really cool. And the cards just give you abilities or attacks or special attacks. Yeah, man, I want to play that game again. Cart Trails of the Orbital Cup. The kart racer sounds so funny. I mean, you can see it too because there's so many Trails characters.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
That'd be insane.
What order would you play these games? Survival horror first, Card Battler second, Kart Racer third, RTS fourth, the visual novel last. Because I got to play the visual novel, alone in dark, in bed. Just have it on, just watch it. Because visual novels is like watching a freaking anime anyway.
Basically. I think I'll go with that order. I just put the RTS not even on the list because I ain't playing that.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Are there any games you wouldn't play? The Dragon Quest Warriors, Dragon Quest Wars. I wouldn't play that really because the world doesn't really add to it. I could see.
What's the game called?
Dragon Quest Wars. You know what would be a really good RTS though? A Trails RTS because you have different factions, different countries with different standards, and freaking battles. Because I think only Erebonia has the mobile suits right now.
I think so too. Yeah. Crossbell doesn't have. Liberal definitely doesn't have it, and
Liberal only has freaking Tia's armor.
Yeah, Tia's armor. I love Tia.
Hookah LaConk. I hate that name. That name is so hard to say. The question is for everyone. What's a JRPG that most people love that you don't? For Taylor, what's one you don't like that most people do besides Cold Steel? And what's one that you love a lot that a lot of people don't? Can it be a single game or entire series? Everyone knows my answer.
Yep. Symphonia, obviously. I would say now there's an asterisk on this one. My answer is going to be Xenoblade, and I don't not like that game. I actually like it, but I don't get the massive love for it that everybody seems to have for it. I'm like, it's a good game, but people like, oh my god, it's a masterpiece. I don't get that.
What's wrong with the game, Taylor? Why?
Oh, are we going down this road again?
Don't you dare tell me the quest structure is wrong. Don't you dare tell me that.
I just feel like it's big for the sake of being big, and they don't do anything with the big open world. And then I feel like as the game goes on, the like you can see the mystery reveals coming a mile away, and then I feel like they keep trying to throw shocking moments one after another. I'm like, oh my god, stop!
Which one are you talking about? Xenoblade 2 or 1?
One. I'm talking about 1.
Okay,
and 2. I mean, I like 2 way less than 1. 1, I like 1. One's a good game. I don't really like 2 that much.
Damn, you getting on 2? 2's not that bad.
The only thing that I agree with Taylor's point, where this feels really way open, and it takes it's too much. Like I really enjoyed 2, and I really enjoyed 1, but it feels like there's too much long walks between story moments, and those story moments are not that long, especially in 1. But that's just a pacing issue with me. That's all. That's it. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I guess for me, yeah. I mean, I'm just repeating myself, but yeah, I mean, I think the opening of Xenoblade, like the first like 20 or so hours, is really strong because it's like there's this mystery and you get invested in these characters, but then it's like they keep teasing these reveals and it's like, oh my god, I know what's happening. Like you're not doing a good job at hiding it, and then so. Yeah, again, not a bad game. I think it's a good game. I just don't think it's a masterpiece, like everybody says.
I need to get back into it.
Yeah, and then the other one, I will let Shadow go. That you don't like, that most people love.
I don't like that most people love.
Yeah.
I don't. I can't think of one.
Final Fantasy 9.
No, he liked it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, that's just a running gag.
That's the meme.
Yeah, that's just meme at this point. It's not really much. Can't really say that's something I really hate, but everybody else likes. Like I genuinely hated what am I being like. I can't get one. I thought we had this question before in the past.
Yeah, I think we'd have to.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's. Well, I obviously for me it's Tales of Symphonia, but that's like a joke hate. But for Taylor, I think you don't like the Tales series. Just the Tales in general series. Like you always have, you always play them like, oh, this is awesome, and then it never like pans out for you. Like every single game that you play.
That's true. I was thinking about that a lot lately. Like, I've been putting out some list videos and we're like, where's all the Tales games? And then I kept thinking about it. I'm like, there's not one like really great Tales game that like really stuck with me. Because that you're totally right, Nick. Like I open, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. The music's good, fun combat. But then I feel like halfway they always run out of steam for me, which is a bummer.
Tales of the Abyss was bad to you, or you didn't care for it, or
I don't think Taylor played it.
No, I played Abyss. It's been a long time.
Did you play it on your 3DS?
I played the PS2 version.
Oh yeah. Trying to remember.
It's been a long time. I think I put it down for another game and I just never came back to it. I don't think it was because I didn't like it. But I will say this is a weird answer. Like if you were to ask me what my favorite Tales game was, I would probably say Xillia 2. Just because of the combat, and there's a couple characters that I really liked. But of course, it does that weird story gating thing where you have to like pay off your debt or whatever. And so you can't progress the story until you do that, which is so annoying. It's like such a lazy way to design a game, I feel like.
You know what, guys? You need to take away my Tales card. Because I need to play and beat Tales of Xillia 2. I haven't. I own it and I haven't played it yet.
Terrible.
That's the only one. That's the only one that I haven't beaten yet.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, and Symphonia. I haven't beaten Symphonia, but I got really far in Symphonia.
Your Tales card is taken away from not liking Symphonia, bro. I'm sorry.
Not allowed. No, Symphonia. I don't follow the crowd. I am not a sheep.
That's right.
Oh man.
I played Tales games before all you guys.
You're the Tales hipster. I see.
I played Tales of Destiny and Tales of Eternia before Tales of Symphonia even came out.
That's right. Okay, well then let's flip the script. Because the other half of that question is, what's one that you love that a lot of people don't?
I like Xillia. Well, not Xillia. Zestiria. There you go. I don't love Zestiria, but I liked it. And I know the flaws. I see the flaws with my eyes, but I really enjoyed it. And my approval seal is whenever a game ends, you feel a hole in you. You feel like a deep hole, and I got that with Zestiria.
Really? With Zestiria?
Yeah, okay. Weird. I don't know. Like I enjoyed it. I'm like, and when the credits rolled, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I enjoyed that, and I don't know, like, and then I went online because I wanted to see what everyone's thoughts about it, and then I saw like it was like universally disliked. I'm like, I don't follow this at all. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I see where a lot of budget cuts were made. But I had fun with all the characters. I like the interactions with the characters, and the story and the ending was great. I like the ending better in the game than in the anime, even though the anime adds a lot more Alicia content.
I would say my answer is Fire Emblem Fates. People hate that game. And I don't really get it because it's basically more of Awakening. And people seem to love Awakening. So I don't really understand where all the hate comes from. Maybe you can tell me, Shadow, because I know you're big into Fire Emblem. Like, why do people not like that game?
I think it stems from it really goes into the, I guess you could say, waifu side of things when it comes to Fire Emblem Awakening, and the way it was released was really.
Oh, that's okay. All right, I guess I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that didn't affect me because I bought the collector's edition that had all 3 versions on it, so I could play whatever version I wanted. So I guess I could see why that would bother people.
That's really why it bothered people, because they really could have put all 3 of these quote unquote games into one single cartridge, but they decided to split it up so people can buy the games and they can sell a DLC.
Okay.
For the third game, that was only in the collector's edition. Did they release that as a DLC?
Yeah, that never came in its own physical version yet.
Only in the collector's edition it did.
Right, that's the only way to play that physically, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. But they actually cut off the story too. Like the story, there are story points that don't make any sense without that DLC, without that third path.
Well, that's supposedly like the true ending or whatever, or the true.
It definitely is the true ending. They locked the true ending behind the paywall.
So
I don't care what anybody says to me. That's what they did. There's no way that you can sit there and tell me that Conquest especially the ending of Conquest. Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I'm getting into it. I'm a little crazy. Let me stop. Let me stop.
So you played all of the Fates games and beat them?
Yeah, I played. I did play Revelations after a while. After a long time, it took me a while to play Revelations, but I did play it. But I did. Yeah, I played Birthright and Conquest as well.
Okay. That makes more sense. I totally forgot that they did that, because it's so funny that you say that, because they're like, "Oops, sorry," because they didn't do that with 3 Houses. They just put them all. I mean, that's 3 different games. They could have sold those separately, but they didn't.
They definitely could have. So.
That's what you said was going to happen, right, Taylor? Like, they're going to be 3 different games because there's 3 Houses, and they didn't.
Yeah, but they didn't. Thank God.
Yeah. Also about Fates is that they really messed up the localization. Like they literally butchered some characters. Completely, like they're nothing like their Japanese counterpart at all.
Oh yeah, that's when people got really mad at Treehouse for doing what they really messing with the translation.
Yeah, they really messed up.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I guess for me, I just liked it. It was like a pretty traditional like Japanese setting, which I like, and the dichotomy of the families, right? Like I like that you had these central characters like your siblings. I just thought all the sibling characters were neat. I'll admit I like the waifu stuff. So for people to say that they don't like it, I guess that makes sense why I would like the game then, because I do like that stuff. But yeah, okay, that makes total sense with the different versions. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, like as a whole, the game is a Fire Emblem game. It does everything Awakening does. It's just like we said, with the way it was released, and the localization really messed it up.
Fair enough.
What about you, Shadow? What game do you like that everyone else hates?
Unfortunately, I kind of want to say Hysteria as well, because at the beginning of the game I didn't like, but as I got towards the end, I started to see, okay, this game isn't half bad, and I'll even call it a good game at best, and a decent game at worst.
I mean, you totally could tell where the they ran out of budget and they rushed this game. They wanted this. They wanted this to be like a huge thing. You could with the manga, the anime. It was just like they wanted this to be huge, and they spent all their money on that. And the music was freaking epic. It's probably one of the best OS soundtracks of a Tales game.
I'll give you that.
It's crazy. Like, and then you just see all the cut stuff because Alicia just disappears. And it sucks because she's like one of the one fan favorites.
I remember Japan got really mad about that.
Oh yeah, they almost rioted. They like destroyed that game. Oh, like doing that bullshit. That was some crap.
So this is why they need to create like a Tales of Zestiria remake kind of thing where they finish it actually.
The We're Sorry edition.
Yeah, the We're Sorry edition. The definitive edition.
Yeah, they probably should do something like that.
But
I'll also say, like I don't think anybody hates Tales of Berseria, but I don't think enough people have played Tales of Berseria. Yeah. So I'll say that one. I love Tales of Berseria, but a lot of people haven't played it.
I really enjoyed Berseria. The only thing that disappointed me was after the amazing score of Zestiria, Berseria leaves you wanting a little bit.
Yeah. And I think the reason why people didn't play Berseria, I mean, I'll speak for myself.
It's because of Taylor and his video.
That's it. That's why that video has got a lot of dislikes. But no, I think it's because I think people checked out after Zestiria because it was like Xillia was like, it's like, oh, this is what we're getting on PS3. Okay, and Xillia 2 it just slowly got like worse and worse, and they're like, all right, after Zestiria, I'm done. Like I know me and Connor both checked out after that.
Well, I don't. Connor doesn't like any Tales game that's not Tales of Destiny. Really, it's hard to get him to play another one. It's hard. I think they're too anime for him actually.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because they are very anime.
Oh yeah, for sure. The skits and just the designs. Yeah, I could see that. Cool.
Good Tales is man. What did you think about the game ending? Shadow of Zestiria. It gave me Sephiroth vibes, like the final battle of Sephiroth. I don't know why. It's after you defeat him, and he's back in his human form, and you're just Soray, and you're slowly walking towards him. I just find that part so cool. If you remember.
I can't remember the ending of Zestiria. I remember the ending of Berseria, but I can't remember Zestiria for the life of me.
It's like
I remember the lead up to the final battle, but I don't remember anything that happened afterwards.
Oh, man. Oh man, it's cool because it feels like a Metal Gear Solid 4 moment or Metal Gear Solid moment where you're okay. Taylor, you beat Zestiria?
No, I didn't beat Zestiria. No.
Okay,
I got pretty far, but I never beat it.
Yeah, so the end is like you beat the boss. You fought his two forms, and he's weakened, and he's back to his human form. And you're Soray. You just your friends are gone, and you're just Soray's really tired. You're in control of him, and all you're doing is you could only move him forward. And he's like limping towards the guy, and then there's a sword in the middle, and he just slowly like grabs the sword. And you're slowly walking to him, and he just stabs him, and it's just like, whoa, this is pretty out there,
intense.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. I just find that really. It's like it wasn't like any other Tales game to me, really.
Yeah, I mean there were some. I mean, there were some things to like, but man, it was just disappointing.
I think what stuck with you was the whole. This is supposed to be like Skyrim. Like
no, I mean it wasn't that. It was again. It's the same problem that I have with Xenoblade. In a way, it's like don't just have a big open field for me to run through with nothing to find in it, because that was Zestiria's problem. It's like okay, if you're gonna have a big open field, I mean they try to go for this semi-open world thing and it just didn't work. at least have some things for me to find, like a treasure chest on occasion or something like that. But it was just big, wide open areas, and that was it. I like the seamless transition to battles. That was cool. But
it was done way better in Berseria though.
Yeah,
because I noticed in Zisteria there's some battles where the battle area was very limited, and you couldn't, and it was just really hard to battle because you're like on like a little piece of land and you couldn't move around really.
Yeah, I just think in general, Tales level design is stuck on like the PS2. So for as much as people may or may not be excited for a Rise, it was time. I think it was just time for a kick in the pants,
I still think this is totally different. This is totally different. Totally different discussion, but I would tell you what I think is actually messing with the Tales dungeon design, but it has to do with cameras. That's all it is. It's the cameras ruin it. The free camera ruins dungeon design for them. Because you control the camera. Because other games, the camera is static in certain places, and it adds like set pieces, and it makes the dungeons seem unique. But when you're just like free camera, you can spin around and everything. It just feels like you're in like a maze, a grid maze.
Yeah, I mean, it's certain areas, right? Because I'm thinking of like the Persona 5 dungeons. Like some of the air time you can control the camera, and then sometimes it takes over, So, yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
All right, so Will Kreplin asks, do you have any sort of ritual when you game? Need to have a beer, use a headset, play with the lights dim, anything like that to make the experience complete, so to speak?
It depends on the game.
Really?
Yeah, for me, it depends on the game. Like if it's a Naughty Dog game or some other big event type game, I turn all the lights off, black out the window so there's no light coming in, and just blast it. Like I did that with Last of Us in Final Fantasy VII Remake, where I want my whole room dark, and I just want to get in the experience. But that's only very rarely. Like E's 9, I'm just gonna play it. It's gonna be fun, but I'm not gonna do that whole shebang. But yeah, otherwise I just have a podcast on. Gotta have some pretzels. I think pretzels are objectively the best gaming snack because they don't get dust or crap on your hands. You can keep eating them and you don't have to clean your hands off. With chips or dip or anything, you always have to clean your hands. Pretzels, just keep eating them. Don't have to clean your hands.
What kind of pretzels are you talking about here?
Like rolled golds, the little mini ones.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Not the big soft ones, no, like the baked ones, yeah.
Yeah, the little mini ones. Those are perfect, but they're too fattening.
Also true. Yeah, as my baby, as that's on the way, can attest to,
I want to have one of those rituals because right now it's just I turn it on. I have my computer screen, my YouTube videos on one side, and I'm playing my game on the other screen. I really miss the days where I would just go onto the couch, turn on an RPG, put my headset on, and it's being engrossed for the TV with no distractions. Now it's just like whatever. So I want to get out. I need to have my own place. Really, I can't. My room is. Yeah. There's no room for here. Like one of the things I really want. Like I've had a dream like this before. I don't know why I've had a dream like this where it's like I'm in a recliner chair. There's a fire going on, and I have my portable gaming system, and I'm just in this rain outside. I'm just playing games on there. No distraction. That sounds awesome.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah. Shouts like, what the fuck's with these people?
I really don't have anything, like, to be honest. I just play the game, that's it. I don't have any ritual or anything like that.
That's funny.
Play the game. Yeah. I need to get my timing all right. Schwarzer 101 asks, what are all your thoughts on the next Trails arc moving to an action based? If they do that, I think it might affect the story and world building. What Trails is known for? I think we answered this already.
Yeah, pretty much. At the beginning. Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be more action based. I think it's the battle system's gonna be more snappy. Turn based still. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna affect the story building at all. They need this. What they need to do is they need to speed up the freaking camera pans. Am I right?
Yeah.
Big time. That shit is getting old.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Falcom. Your cities are not impressive enough to warrant those big, long pans. Like, sorry.
From Wingy Chef, Team Makoto or Team Mitsuru?
Ooh. In what context? Pure design Mitsuru all day. She's the leader from Persona 3, right?
Yep.
Red hair girl, yeah, for her, yeah, for sure. As a party member, I would say Makoto, because Makoto had like, I think, all around was just a really strong character, and her like Phantom Thief design was so badass, but her social link arc was disappointing.
You just had to disable charm for what's it called? And the spell that freaking Mitsuru always spammed. It's like a meme.
Oh yeah.
I just turned that off and made her cast ice. I think she was ice. Was she ice?
Yeah, I think she was. Yeah, I think you're right.
Or not ice, Fio. Not Fio. What is it?
Dia? No,
Dia.
that's
Well,
like
I can't think of the ice name.
Bufu. Yeah. What about you guys? Makoto or Mitsuru?
Oh, Mitsuru all the way, man.
I see you're also a man of culture.
More mature. I like them. I like them mature women.
Yep.
Her social link wasn't that great though.
Yeah.
It was just
I probably pick Mitsuru.
Mitsuru all the way. Or Makoto. Will Kreplin asks, how do you manage your save files? Do you just make one, keep it duplicate, back up every time you play? What's your habit? I think we've answered this before.
Yeah, I feel like we had too.
Yeah, I use everything. I use all the slots.
Yeah, I use multiple. I try to do, if it's like a chapter-based game, I always save at the end of each chapter, and then I have extra save files. And Taylor only does one.
Yeah, unless there's like a pivotal point where I'm like, I might need to grind here, or this was, very, I might have two at most. 3 would be extremely rare. But usually I just keep one file.
From Caslo25, Star Ocean 3 is a bad game. Change my mind.
You're a guy with bad taste. Change my mind.
Oh.
Hey.
I've never played Star Ocean 3, so I don't know. That's the PS2 one, right?
Yep.
Is that the one with the spoiler, with the crazy twist ending?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That pretty much like nearly destroys the entire series for the most part.
Okay, here. No. Here, I'll change your mind. Star Ocean 3 is not a bad game because Star Ocean 5 is a bad game. So that makes Star Ocean 3 a mediocre game at the very worst.
Maybe that.
Star Ocean 4 is it's like it just got worse. Star Ocean 3 was mediocre, Star Ocean 4 was bad, and then Star Ocean 5 was just despicable.
Oh, it was terrible.
How like it just goes down. Like the series started going up, it stayed up for 2 games, and then it just went down.
And it's like 1 was good, 2 was probably the best one, and then 3 was like, yo, what happened? Yep.
Thinking about that though, was that a remake of 1 that just came out like last year?
Yeah, First Departure R. Yeah, that was a remake of 1.
Yeah, that game sucks.
Oh, you didn't like it?
You like it? I think it was that bad.
I hate the battle system, man. Battle system's
Why?
just awful. I don't know. It just felt like a really cheap knockoff of
Tales.
And
okay, you know that that Enix, a lot of those guys came from the original team, though, right? The original Tales team.
It just doesn't
or
feel
Wolf team or whatever they were called when they first started.
It doesn't feel right though, because like first the voice acting is awful, and the AI, the character AI is awful. So they just keep spamming the same move over and over again.
They are awful. They keep getting flanked. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and it's just like. It's like the waves, like I don't remember the wave. The girl who has the wave, and she goes, "Magic wave, magic wave, magic wave!" It just keeps going. It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
could.
the AI is terrible. It's oh my god, they were
Yeah.
bad.
I just felt the battle system like if they wanted why did they make it 3D? Just make it 2D and it would have been way better.
Hmm. I don't know about that.
Mm.
They probably just could have fixed the AI, make the random encounter rate a little bit less. It was way too high. It was almost on Persona 1 and 2 levels.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was about it. Oh, and they should definitely tell you have like an indication of where you need to go, because there's a lot of missable things in that game. I guess it's designed to be played multiple times, but holy crap, can you miss a lot of things?
So I found like a secret mine, and like the monsters there were like 30 levels higher than me and killed me instantly. I'm like, okay, that's nice.
Oh, fun.
Dari Shem asks, sci-fi or fantasy? Both. Why not
I would
both?
like more sci-fi. I would like more sci-fi, like JRPGs and just games in general. But I guess I go with fantasy. No,
I mean, we kind of got like a sci-fi fantasy with Xenoblade 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's kind of sci-fi-ish with the blades and stuff.
I'm thinking sci-fi like Xenosaga.
Yeah, we need stuff like that.
Yeah,
like Final Fantasy 13. I mean, that's not a good game, but a good example, I guess. That's sci-fi.
But not like sci-fi, not sci-fi like like Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Yeah, that's like almost like modern, sort
Kinda,
of.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, between those two, I always prefer fantasy. I guess there hasn't been like one really great sci-fi game that's like done what I want out of a sci-fi game. I guess. I mean, there are good ones out there, but
yeah, it needs to be more sci-fi RPGs and JRPGs.
For sure.
I like sci-fi when the sci-fi is dirty and grungy. Like the original Star Wars. The original Star Wars was dirty and grungy, and it was awesome. And then it became crisp and clean, and then it became awful.
Or even like the original Alien. I mean, essentially they're space truckers. You know, like all their gear looks old and nasty and stuff. So yeah, I hear you.
Like BattleTech. BattleTech is the same thing. Need some old grungy sci-fi. Pigeon Senpai asks, with the news of Ys 9 release date, I would like to ask, what is everyone's experience with the Ys series? Favorite game from Ys? Also, who is the biggest Chad, Adol or Reen? Adol is the biggest Chad because he makes gods fall in love with him and still leaves them.
That's right. I mean, I think that's probably the right answer. Yeah.
Ys 9. I've played
Played Ys 7, Ys Memories of Celceta.
Played Ys 1.
8. I still think Ys 7 is the best one.
I need to play Ys 7.
Ys 7's good. Yeah. I started with Oath and Felghana on PSP. That was actually my first review ever for Blistered Thumbs way back in the day.
Which one is that? Is that 3?
I think it's 3. Yeah, because not books 1 and 2. Because Celceta is a remake of 4, I think.
Yeah, we haven't gotten 5 yet.
Yeah, and then Arc of Napishdom is 6, right? Technically. Yeah. So anyway, I started with Oath and Felghana, and then after that was 7, and 7's great. Yeah. And then played Origin, 8, and Memories of Celceta. I didn't really like Celceta as much for some reason. I think it was because it was only in a forest. Like the whole game is a forest. Like it doesn't mix up environments as much. But I like 8. I think 8's probably my favorite.
You destroyed 8. Literally.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, when you beat a game like that in under 2 hours, you know.
I like Celceta. Celceta was fun. I liked playing as the orange-haired girl. I never played as Adol.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I played Ys 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. I haven't played 7. I need to play 7. But yeah. And Oath and Falcon, I guess. Is Oath on PC now? I think it is.
I think so. That one's kind of hard from what I remember. It's like the dungeon layouts. It's hard to get, or it's easy to get lost. I felt like at least.
They're
So you might like it.
Yeah, they're usually short and sweet. Like
They are. That one's pretty short. Yeah.
Like Ease 1 is only 2 hours, and I think Ease 2 is the same thing.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, they're really short.
Yeah, Oath and Felghana, let's see. How long to beat? I don't think Oath and Felghana is that short, but I want to say it's like 12. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, 12 hours. Yeah.
All right, so that is the final question for today. I know it's getting kind of late for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You guys gotta go to bed. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll be back next week with more JRPG goodness. See ya.
Peace.
Bye.